That's what I tell you about the clapping. The clapper.
But I gotta clap to sync.
Oh, okay.
Keep it going, cause.
So are you good?
Yeah. Cause it's easier to mesh
I don't
up.
have a tripod right now either because somebody lost it for me.
Yeah. M-word.
Word. Oregon. All right.
Wait, what do you have? Water?
Are we synced? That's
Yeah.
not water. Soda.
I think I know what that is, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not important. Anyway. Sunday fun day. So are we synced in? Are we good? Is this live?
Live from New York.
Holy shoot. Live from New York.
Holy shoot.
Live from New York. This is Saturday night.
And you're watching.
Kingsway Lames.
Cue the intro. We don't have an intro.
We don't have one yet.
So.
Very low budget.
That's fine.
So are we actually going for
Yeah.
real? Is this recording our voices as we speak?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Settings on. Plugged in.
Hope I didn't blow out anyone's speakers doing that.
Definitely did. That's so annoying to do.
Someone that has subs in their car is pulled over right now because their ears
And
are
they're
bleeding.
crying.
And yeah.
They got depression.
So sorry about that. So let's start off with the intro that we don't really have right now.
Yeah.
But
It's in
we
the
do have a
process.
name. We do have a name.
And that is Kingsway.
Lames.
Yes, sir. Get
Why
out.
is it? Why did we go with Kingsway Lames?
So here's what happened. We grew up on Kingsway Lane.
Lane. That's Lane.
Yeah.
For you people that can't really.
In a town called Byron.
Illinois.
Not much to do there,
Not a whole lot.
but we're not gonna roast her
No.
because we love her.
Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up on Kingsway Lane, and you're actually the one who came up with Kingsway Lames.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Pretty creative. Thanks, dude.
yeah, sick.
That's
Super
pretty sick.
sick.
Pretty sick name. Pretty sick name. Because I was gonna do before you and I had like kind of talked. I had like an idea in the back of my head, and the first thing I gravitated towards was Kingsway for some reason. And I think
Which I never would have probably thought of.
Kingsway Lame was gonna be the original by myself, and then like once
You were gonna do solo?
I was gonna try to get into it, but then
Really?
once like
I didn't even know that.
Once you and I hung out more, and like I knew you were way more tech savvy than I was, and that you're
So
also
you're just using me for the
Yeah.
savviness. Yeah.
So,
sick.
because I was like, thanks, dude. But yeah, once I figured out that like you were way more tech savvy than me with all your like your music recording and all like the little video edits that you do, I was like, he'd be perfect because not only do you have like that advantage, you're also not boring.
Sick.
So you have that like super good like entertaining aspect to you because I was like I wasn't gonna be like, okay man, he sucks, but that kid sucks,
good
but
with
he
the
knows
tech.
how to do the computer stuff, so I'm just gonna do what I'm just gonna do a podcast with him. But then yeah, when I first came out here, we kind of were like talking about it like almost as a joke because I didn't know how serious you were about it.
Yeah.
And then
How long did you want to do a podcast? Like, when did you start?
I'm not gonna like lie and say like, oh, I've been thinking about this for like the last like 4 years now.
A consistent 4 years?
There was a time like when I was in Wyoming to where I was like, how can I be like more creative in like in an area that I think that I could, not really thrive in, but I think that I could, I don't know, manage it well. Because like I said, at the time I was thinking I was going to end up doing something by myself. So I was like, what could I do by myself? Because I don't really know. Because I think eventually you and I like want to definitely travel more and like make like some solid YouTube videos. Like if when we
like
both get better at
bits and
editing,
sketches,
yeah, and then we can like upgrade and get better cameras and take better footage. Just because like you and I are both fans of traveling. I haven't done it obviously as much as I would like to, and I don't think I've done it as much as you have. But that's definitely a plan for us. And yeah, it was just like a spot in Wyoming where I was in such like a weird like mental place to where I was doing good, but like there was still something.
I think
missing.
everyone in Wyoming is in a weird mental place.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I also don't. I think I was asleep that whole time. I think it was just
a blur.
Yeah, just a 6-month dream. But yeah, and then we clicked like right away when we came out here because we went for like a long time with like being cool, but like not ever really talking,
not socializing at all.
No, so it was weird how easily things like picked up once I came out here. And then,
I've never thought of like doing a podcast, but I've always like doing stuff like creative, like videos and like music. Like, that's something I've always enjoyed doing. But when you brought up the podcast, it's like, why not try it out?
That's what I'm saying.
Where it goes and
just to preface this before, because I know we know what our hometown is like, so we know people are gonna be like talking a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And just for a heads up, we don't care.
No hex here.
We don't give one friggin' heck.
No friggin' heck.
But the thing is with like us is we didn't. When we brought it up, we never were like, dude, like we want to do this to become famous.
Yeah,
it's never been like, if it happens, obviously great, but
that's not my intention.
No, it's not our intentions. And like what we want to do is just hopefully, even if we have like if we just have a max of like 100 people that listen to the podcast, I'd be more than satisfied with that.
No, exactly.
And like maybe one ad read. Like if we
just want one hashtag ad.
Yeah, if we get one hashtag ad,
and that's Bud Light. So
yeah, if we don't get Bud Light sponsorship. But like the reason we say that is because I think some people, once they see that we start putting this out, they're going to be like, "Oh, these two are." Like some dumb person is gonna fucking say this. I know. Like, did Drake really move to Arizona to not get a job and start a podcast?
Hell yeah,
hell yeah, I fucking did, Karen.
Yeah, fuck you.
Look at me now, bitch. So, no, we just want to say that he has a full-time job. That's pretty fucking decent, dude. Pretty decent job, dude. Sick. And I just got a new job where pretty fucking sick too. So him and I are actually busy. This is like a thing that we want to do in our free time.
Yeah, this is not a full-time. It's like a fun thing, just to like talk to each other about different topics.
And him and I both love comedy. Like, you're a big fan of it. I'm kind of getting you more and more into it, like, more recently.
I've been watching like stand-up because of you.
Yeah, so that's been
like
a big
people.
thing for me, is stand-up comedy for a while. I've been a huge fan, and so him and I have started to watch more of it together, and we're both like big podcast fans.
Yeah.
So it's
like I listen to Cody Ko. There's another one called The Basement. That's really funny to me.
And here's the other thing. No, we're not trying to be Cody Ko and Noel Miller.
I mean,
if it happens,
Cody Ko is my president.
Yeah, so. We know who our fucking president is. President and VP. Cody Ko and Noel.
We love that.
That's a good merch idea. You guys should hit us up. So, just saying.
Also, that is wobbling, and that's like...
Even if... Is it wobbling pretty bad?
Yeah.
So...
My elbows are coming off.
Yeah, everyone chill out.
Yeah, relax.
Yeah. Relax in your cars.
Yeah, we got a crew behind the camera.
Yeah.
We got like 17 people.
Are you guys writing... Jamie, can you pull that up for me, actually? Thanks. We don't have a Jamie.
Yeah, there's no Jamie.
There's no Jamie here. It's just us. O to B.
O to be Jamie. On the Kingsway Lanes podcast.
O to be Jamie on Kingsway Lanes podcast.
That's definitely our first guest, though.
Oh, yeah.
Some mom named Jamie.
Yeah, we have a weird thing with moms recently where we're really trying to get one on the podcast so she can just say some absurd shit.
About her kids.
Yeah.
That we don't know.
But, yeah, no, we're not trying to be Cody and Noel. Obviously, they're huge inspirations to us because we're both fans of the podcast.
But I think that's just our, like, same level of comedy.
Oh, yeah, it's like that make fun of, like, just like constantly running a bit type, which is hilarious to me.
It's so funny.
But no, definitely, if you guys don't know, first of all, get your fucking lives together and listen to Tiny Meat Gang, because if you don't know who they are yet,
this is an ad.
Yeah, so hashtag ad sponsor.
This is all our podcast is just talking about
just
Tiny Meat Gang.
But then
no, their podcast is just like so.
It's super funny. It's super well put together.
Yeah,
those two
they just run off each other so well.
Yeah, And it was something that him and I have talked about, like when we started talking about this as an idea. I was like, him and I, like, Coltrane and I run bits constantly, like when we're hanging out. Yeah. And so we were like, dude, this last, like, what would you say, like 2-3 weeks have been like harder and harder because what we've been doing
is so funny to me.
What we've been doing is we've been putting, because if we forget, it's hard because we're constantly thinking about dumb shit all day long. So what we've been doing is, when we really figured out like this is something we're gonna sit down and start, we told each other to, if you think of something funny or stupid, just put it in your notes in your phone right away, so that way you don't forget it. So
while we're at work or like in the grocery store or something.
So randomly. So what him and I have done over the last like 2.5-3 weeks is we've built separate huge lists of stuff in our notes of just stupid bits to talk about and
different topics.
Yeah. So, and we send them back and forth to each other all the time, and I'm constantly dying laughing,
just chuckling at my phone.
Some of the dumbest stuff that we have for topics.
But it's so good. There's so many.
They're hilarious. But yeah, going in,
and it also sucks because like we can't hang out and talk about this stuff because we want like our genuine reactions.
No, yeah.
To the topics.
So when we start talking about funny shit, we got to tell each other to shut up.
Yeah.
Because we're like, no, save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast.
So when we hang out, it's just silence. We just.
And we're like, so how's everything been going?
Sorry.
I try to make a joke, and I'm like, stop.
No more.
Stop.
End that.
But yeah, going into what are we? Oh, we're only at 10. Oh, dude, we're on fire right now.
So our episodes are what, like 40?
We're gonna start with like 40
minutes.
And then I think like once we kind of get better at everything, it'll probably be like max maybe an hour, maybe more, just depending on if we have
depends
someone.
on how it goes.
Depending on if someone comes and visits, and we like them enough to get them set up and get put on a feature. Those will maybe be a little bit longer. But yeah, no, we're not going to be like, hey, come out specifically to be a feature on the podcast.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, maybe we are, but we're not dope like that yet. But I mean, if you come and visit and we talk about it enough and we like you enough to maybe have you on a feature, that's a possibility. So,
and there's like no excuse right now because flights are $12 round trip due to shout out to Corona.
Shout out to Corona. Virus, no lime.
Yeah.
We don't do it without a lime here.
Yeah.
But if you guys have the opportunity, get an $8 round trip flight and come swim in the pool. So we were just swimming yesterday, dude. It was what, like 85 degrees or something yesterday, and it's March 8th right now, March 7th, 2020.
Shout out to Arizona sun.
Shout out to the desert, baby. We
love it.
We were in the pool for a majority of the day. I got some good color.
You didn't. Not that good.
Okay, so you're rude. Anyway. But yeah, so what now we're going to go into is a little bit of like our, upbringing, and then going into like school and then to college, and then what happened when we both came
also, we do have 2 microphones. It's just we had
this is not our setup, but we had, like I said, we're just starting out small business entrepreneurs here, and
we also don't have a tripod.
We lost a tripod in this apartment that's not that big, so
that's upsetting.
Yeah, so we're not happy. So the camera already fell once.
But yeah, next episode we'll have 2 separate mics.
Yeah, so it'll sound a lot better. This is not ideal, obviously, but because believe me, if you were smelling what I was smelling right now,
trust me.
Stanky.
I love how I can't even see you this whole time too. This giant mic is blocking.
Yeah, it's literally blocked. It's in between us, and we can't see each other, which is also a benefit to me because believe me, you don't want to be sitting across from what I'm.
Believe me, sister.
But yeah, so tell the people a little bit about you and me growing up in Byron, and then going into like school, into high school, and then into college, and then now that you're here.
Yeah, so just shout out to my grandma's Bridge Club for listening.
Our only 6 listeners.
Yeah, we love them.
Shout out to them. Huge fans of the Bridge Club.
But yeah, I grew up in Kingsway Lane, Byron, Illinois. Was neighbors with Drake for...
Literally next door neighbors.
Yeah. I'm not giving that away, but you can go ahead and do that.
We'll cut that out.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm editing this.
We were literally right next door neighbors.
Yeah. I think I moved when I was 20.
Yeah.
And you moved when?
I moved in August when I was 21. But I only moved to a different neighborhood.
Yeah.
I got out of my parents' house and just moved to like the next neighborhood over with one of my best friends and his dad that let me stay at their place. So
I think you moved before me then. Like you moved to a different neighborhood
before you left.
Yeah.
No, you guys were gone because
we were.
Yeah, because Roland's were already there at the time. Okay. So
so I stayed in that same house for 20 years. And me and Drake grew up like hanging out all the time when we were little. Mm-hmm. And even in middle school, we were like really close hanging out. And I think like high school, when you were a freshman and I was in 8th grade, that's kind of when our conversation stopped.
Yeah.
Just like naturally, because you had a different friend group.
It's two different worlds.
Different friend group, yeah.
Like getting into high school, and then especially
it is.
Especially having like, because you had Taylor and Ashley, like your older siblings, and I had Becca, and then some of my cousins were upperclassmen. So like I dove into an entire new world of friendships and people to hang out with, and so it was nuts. But
So just, like, naturally happened
a
where-
separation point where things kind of broke off.
Like, we still hung out maybe a couple times and, like, talked, but, like, we weren't, like, what we had. We weren't best friends anymore.
No.
We definitely separated, and we were in, like, the same sports, so, like, we knew each other through that, but, like, it wasn't, like, oh, let's hang out every weekend type of deal.
Yeah.
And then I moved, so we went to high school. He's a grade above me. You're 24?
Yep, just turned 24.
And I'm 22. So he was a grade above me. And like I said, we were friends pretty much our entire life. And then high school, we kind of separated through friend groups. And then I went to college. I went to the same college as you.
Yep.
We love it.
Shout out Rock Valley College.
Shout out to the
Golden
Eagles.
baby.
The Eagles that are gold. We love them. We bleed gold.
We bleed blue and gold.
Yeah. So...
And we still didn't even... And I knew you went to RBC, and we still didn't really talk.
Dude, well, that's a whole different story because I hated my life.
I mean, I also did, too.
Like, freshman year and sophomore year were
We
just
could have totally
so
bonded.
toxic.
We could have bonded through how
much we hated
everything going on.
Yeah. Just living at home while your friends are, like, going out and partying.
Yeah,
is
so
just,
talk about when you graduated high school. So obviously I was 2014, you were 2015 when you graduated.
Yeah.
So talk about like what your plans were to do, and then when you ended up going to Rock Valley, and then just like how you like what you went through.
Yeah. So my senior year, I like was planning on not going to Rock Valley. I was like, there's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I did the same
fall
thing.
of senior year, I was like,
same thing.
Fuck that, mom and dad. Like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
It's cheap, but like, and I didn't know anything about money or like how that worked, and like college debt. So I was like planning on going to like Columbia, Chicago, or NIU,
Yep.
or even UW Milwaukee.
Yep.
Like, those are my three schools I was like really into, and I wanted to go for film.
Yep.
So yeah, and then I like later on like planned it out and like applied, and like in high school I had B's and C's. I was not a good student. We're good on time?
Yeah, we're good.
I was B's and C's, so like I wasn't gonna go anywhere and get like a scholarship or anything. And then like actually I sat down and like looked at the money. I talked to like counselors. I was applying. It was like $50 to apply
Which
to
is
school.
such
and that's when I was like,
horseshit.
what is this?
Such
What is-
horseshit.
What is money?
Yeah.
I have no income. So like I don't know, I like sat down, I looked at the numbers, and like I was gonna have to pay. Like, some people are fortunate, like my parents helped me out at Rock Valley, but like they weren't gonna help me out with college, like the actual funding.
Yep.
So like I sat down and saw like 30,000, oh, this one's 20,000, and I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of zeros.
Dude, that's a
I don't
lot
even
of
know
zeros.
what this is. So like I guess after winter break I came back to high school, and I just like had the mindset like, okay, probably the smartest thing for me to do is to go to Rock Valley.
Yep. Which
I'm gonna get depressed.
Don't get us wrong when we say this. Rock Valley was a phenomenal school.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
I'm actually happy I did it
had
now.
a great experience at
Yeah.
Rock Valley. I was just a horseshit student.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'm happy I did it now. Like,
And
looking
so,
back,
like, I hated it at the time. I was like, I go to fucking Rock Valley. But
Yeah.
now, like, I am more than proud to say, like, I got an associate's from Rock Valley
yeah,
College.
and
I'm
we have
in
no debt.
I'm in
I have
no debt.
$0 in debt.
And we both have semi-decent
Yeah.
jobs. Like I said, we're not, backing up the Brinks truck yet.
Yeah.
But
Not yet.
Mark my words, not yet, baby. But
2025.
that's our year, dude. But like, we're both, set up. We can both make a living by ourselves right
Yeah.
now, and that's just. And we don't have
We both
a bachelor's. We don't have a master's. We don't.
But that's the thing. Like, the school system's just so messed up.
Oh yeah,
And that's like my senior years when I found that out too. But yeah, so I went to Rock Valley. I hated my life I went there for 3 years.
Yeah. So when did you graduate from Rock Valley?
2018
May of 2018.
And while I was going to Rock Valley, obviously I wanted to like continue it and get a bachelor's.
So what were you doing the whole time you were at?
I was
Rock
at the
Valley?
airport.
Oh, that's
Chicago
right.
Airport.
That's right.
That's where I got my foot in the door in like
That's
the
right.
airport
Forgot.
industry. Well, my first year I kind of I took off of work. I was at McDonald's that summer of high school.
Lit.
So lit.
Shout
dude.
out Byron McDonald's. I bet there were people still waiting in line from Friday night.
It's so toxic there, and the
So
management was
toxic.
such a headache. But I worked with some of my friends, so like it was so
So
fun.
that's always fun.
Yeah, like the job sucked, but working with people like you can hang with, it's a good time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I did McDonald's. Then my sophomore year, I worked at the airport. I made decent money, and then I kind of like worked my way up just in the 2 years I was at the airport.
So
And
what's
then-
your technical title at the airport right now?
I am a ramp supervisor with
Ramp
Alaska
supervisor.
Airlines. Yes.
Dude, you're ramping up to fucking vibes.
Yeah. So I started out just like a ramp agent, and this was in Rockford, Illinois. And then I got upgraded to lead ramp agent, and then I went to customer service lead, and then I moved here, and then I got upgraded to supervisor.
So you transferred
with the same company.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I knew how you got out here, and then I kind of figured that anyway, because I was like, there's no way he would have just like quit his job and kind of bounced.
Yeah, and I didn't really tell anyone. Like, I told my close friends and stuff, but like, so when I was in Rock Valley, I had like 3 options again. It was either I was gonna go, because I went to school for film, and I got my associates in arts for film and film study. I was either gonna go to UW Milwaukee because they had a decent film school. I was gonna go to Columbia because my best friend was going to Columbia, and I was gonna room with him. Or I was just gonna, my boy Dan.
Shout out Daniel Vargas.
Yeah, love you. I was gonna just move to Phoenix. So it was like 3 options of getting out of the small town that I grew up in, because there's not a lot of opportunity. One for film and just one for like the future I saw. I was like, I can't stay here.
No, I get it.
There's no way. Even just like Rockford area, I didn't see myself staying there. So I pretty much just like was like, fuck it, let's move to Phoenix. I had a cousin going to ASU out here, and I visited maybe I think 5 or 6 times before I moved, and I kind of fell in love. I came out in January, and it was like 80 degrees. I was by the pool, like drinking Bud Light, and I go back home, and it's like -4 degrees with snow. So I was like, Chicago, Milwaukee are like great cities. I love them, but like warm weather and a beautiful city.
You got to deal with that bitter off the lake cold in both of those. Yeah,
so like, I don't know, I just kind of took a chance, and I'm like, it's the best decision I've ever made. And I can fly home whenever I want, pretty much, to see family and stuff. And that's like, I still deal with like homesickness, not the city, for sure,
but just like the people, because
all my friends are there, all my family's there, pretty much. So that part sucks. Same. But like, you adapt to that, pretty much. But
you're still, would you say like Chicago's like one of your favorite cities for sure? Like, do you have like a love for like the whole aesthetic in the city of Chicago?
Yeah,
because like I'm a diehard. Like, I mean, my dream place to live would be somewhere downtown. I just know that I can't like afford it.
Yeah, I want to experience a big city lifestyle where like I don't have a car,
and we live like 25 minutes away from Phoenix,
like downtown. Yeah,
like we're so close to a major city that it's insane to me.
Well, Phoenix is the 5th largest city, which is
crazy. So it's like, and him and I both live like around that half hour, a little bit less than that half hour mark, like outside of the city. So it's nuts when we go to do things and we're like, yo, do you want to do something in Phoenix tonight?
There's so many options, which is
it's like, yo, you want to go do something in Phoenix? Like, we went to that Suns game how long ago? It took us like 20 minutes to get there.
And before, when you want to go Bulls game, it was a fat commitment.
2 hours, and then you got to remember 2 hours back home too.
Like after 11 p.m. and you're tired because the Bulls are trash.
Yeah, because the Bulls are mentally exhausting to watch.
Anyway.
Shout out to Derrick Rose, love you, but I went to like 5 games and he was hurt for all of them. That's over a span of a few years.
That boy's kneecaps are not well.
Redo the kneecaps, please come back. We miss you, we love you.
Come to the Phoenix Suns, please.
Honestly, yes, please come to the Phoenix Suns. We need you.
That'd actually be a good combo.
I would love that. I would love that. But then, so
what's up with your story and how you ended up here?
So both grew up right next to each other on the best road in town.
True.
So then, like I said, went through schooling. We were still cool, and then broke off into high school. I was like playing football and basketball. I was super busy, and then I kind of dove like really aggressively into like the fire department like stuff like in high school. So what I did,
what year did you like?
I got on my junior year, the summer before my junior year of high school.
Okay.
And so what they do is they run a cadet program where it's kind of like leading you into like the career side of like being a firefighter and everything. So my junior year, I was only there like 1 hour a day because I got on. You got to take a test. You got to pass that test, and then you got to do an interview. And from the interview, they only select 2 people out of all the people that passed the test, and I was one of those 2 people. So
I didn't even know that.
Shout out people skills. Yeah, a lot of like super smart people of my friends that applied for it, because I applied last minute. I didn't even think I was going to do it. I applied last minute, and then a lot of people who are infinitely smarter than I am didn't pass that test. They run like a weird like common sense test, and like they have questions like throw you off and try to confuse you.
Yeah.
And so somehow my dumb ass passed it. And
how many people apply for that?
Oh, dude, it was like 20 kids in our grade. I'm not even kidding. And then
from that test, like
5 of us passed, and it wasn't the 5 that I was expecting from the people that were in that room.
I did not know.
I'm not kidding.
Like this.
So, yep. So I went through high school, and high school was like pretty easy, like nothing crazy. I wasn't a great student. Like I was so lazy. I did shit last minute. I'd be cramming shit in the morning before it was due sometimes, that kind of stuff. And then I actually had a plan to go to Blackhawk with Joe Hanlon, my best friend.
That's community college, right?
Yep. So that's in the Quad Cities. My plan was to go there. And
senior year, like it was decided.
Because the last thing I wanted to do was go to Rock Valley. Yeah, my older sister went to Rock Valley. I heard about it, and I was like, "There's no fucking way I'm going to this place." And I was like, "Nope, not a chance." So I applied, and I was going to go into physical therapy. That's what I was going to go to Blackhawk for originally.
Did you want to go D1 at all? Like a big college in like a big city?
I eventually was going to want to transfer. I just didn't know where, but I applied to get in the physical therapy program. I got in, and then backtracking on top of that. So got with the cadet program, went through junior year, went into senior year where you actually are making money. And I was never at high school my senior year. I was at the fire department for the first half of the day, every single day, Monday through Friday. And then I took a EMT class. Had that EMT class at Rock Valley Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
So you went to college your senior year?
I went to college my senior year of high school.
I envy you.
Which didn't really go to college. I took a college class, but EMT class is like 8 credits.
But you got your foot in the door when you were a senior.
It's 8 credits, yeah. So
that's insane.
It's a big deal of a class.
Yeah.
And so I was in there with a bunch of other high school students. I would take a bus every day, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'd take a bus right after around 12:20 or something like that, and I would have EMT class from 1 to 3 Tuesday through Thursday, and then I'd come back, and football and basketball I'd be late to practice.
I didn't even know this.
Every day.
I didn't know in basketball season. That's why we didn't talk, because I didn't know you were doing this.
Yep, I was at Rock Valley, and it's like a half hour, because I was at the Stenstrom Center, not main campus. So that Stenstrom Center is only just over 20 minutes away, which I liked way more than main campus. So, yep, I get back late for every day, and I'd be just getting to practice as things are starting, which was annoying to me because that makes my anxiety go through the roof. And then
I don't remember you being late.
I would get in as you guys are like almost finishing with.
Also, I was out the entire season.
Yeah, so
I was sleeping.
Yep. And so graduated. Like I said, wasn't a great student, but thought I was going to go to Blackhawk. Kind of got into it with mainly my mom about it because she's super paranoid about debt and everything. And so it didn't. The conversation went the complete opposite of what I thought it was going to go, and so didn't end up going. Was pretty heartbroken about it, even though it was just Blackhawk. But I wanted to go with Joe so bad.
Was the finance the same for Blackhawk?
It's actually a relatively expensive community college. So I would have thank God I didn't go, because I would have put myself in major debt for something that I know I wouldn't be doing right now anymore. So I didn't go, thank God. At the time, I was distraught. I was my parent, mainly my mom. I was it's so dumb that she's discouraging me from going where I want to go.
Yeah.
And she got super wigged out because she was offended why I even we made a legit presentation about me and him going to Blackhawk together, and it went the opposite of what I thought.
Made a full PowerPoint.
Literally a full PowerPoint.
24 slides.
Yeah, pretty much. And presented it and everything, and then didn't go. So I was weirdly already super depressed. I was in a relationship all throughout high school with a great girl, and then we went into college. She ended up going to RVC with me too, and then we were in the same a class together. Ended up separating because of me. I was literally a complete idiot. I was so toxic.
Every 20-year-old is.
So we separated, and I think I have detachment issues bad, and even though I was 18, I still didn't take it well at all. So I kind of spiraled out of control at that time, and so we were still in the same class.
This is together. Freshman year?
This is my first semester of college.
Okay.
So I'm at the school where I absolutely did not want to go to. I just separated from my girlfriend at the time, and I was just out of my mind. Just distraught and depressed, and my anxiety got worse and worse. and I was going for fire science, but I was having this battle constantly. Like, is this even what I want to fucking do? I was like, I don't even know anymore. So after graduating, I got into a recruit class at Byron Fire, which if you're a cadet and you stay local, you don't have to take the same test you got in for. You just are automatically put into the recruit class. So I got in, was doing that. And that was like Tuesday or Monday and Tuesday nights, like 6 to 10 at night, on top of like the 3 other part-time jobs I had while going to school. So very awful and confusing time for me because I was doing so much different shit. Yeah. And so it wasn't helping my anxiety and like my depression and everything and all that, and not trying to like get anyone down, I'm just being transparent here. So, and then just was it was a weird thing with my parents where they were never satisfied with how much I was working while going to school. So I was constantly like,
it's the worst combo too.
So I was getting shit from living at home, and like my parents are great, don't get me wrong, like I love my parents, but we definitely beefed hard for years. But I was getting shit from my parents for not working enough while trying to be a full-time student.
Were you full-time work?
No, but I was part-time at like 2 or 3 different jobs.
Yeah, so
like
basically,
sometimes 3 different places. Yeah. So it was super frustrating to me because I was like, you guys wanted me to stay here, go to Rock Valley
You're
for
the one who
school
influenced
to
this
save
idea.
money.
Yeah.
And then I'm doing okay in school and going to school, but how much do you think I can work, you guys? Like, I'm confused. So beefed with my parents super hard about that. So I was still going to Rock Valley. I was still working at the fire department, and my like regular job was like maintenance out at the golf course in our town. And so eventually I could not do it anymore with my parents. I had to move out, and what I did was I have a best. He's like a younger brother to me, Brendan Reverts. Shout out to him and his dad. Shout out to him and his dad, Jim. They let me move in with them after talking to him, and he talked to his dad. And they let me stay with them. Didn't charge me rent. He would always like get us food, and just they had a ton of rooms.
What year was this?
This was in August of 2017. August of 2017 was when and like I said, there's a lot of different up and downs like through there that like we can definitely dive into like in later episodes for sure. But this is just kind of like a brief story. So I moved in with them in August of 2017, and so things were better because I was out of my parents' house, so I didn't have to come home to a negative environment every single day. Things were so chill there at Reverts' house. And then so kept going, finished school in December of 2018. So, and during the winter, I got into contact because I was not going to stay there any longer. I could not be in Byron for another second. I was waking up every day more and more sad, more and more depressed, more and more anxious. I felt like I was I felt like I was like chasing down like a light that I was getting further and further away from. So I was like, I can't be here for another second. So I got into contact with one of my best friend's parents who knew somebody from their hometown in Wisconsin who was a captain for a wildland fire department out in Casper, Wyoming.
So that was your connection?
That was the connection, and that was just a thought. This got brought up in a casual conversation just talking about life to my buddy's dad. And he brought up that he knows a captain in Wyoming, and I'm not a cowboy at all. Literally the polar opposite. So when it got brought up, I was like, okay. I was like, I'll definitely see what's up. I applied, got into contact with him, got the job, and moved out.
How fast did this happen? Like, what was the time frame?
So late 2018, I got into contact with him like maybe around like November. Applied and everything, got the offer. I was talking to him like regularly, like on the phone. Like he was telling me how to apply, like giving me tips, stuff like that. And shout out to Nate Kirshner if he ever listens to this, my dad, my work dad. And so he was just super helpful on everything. And I got the job, got the offer in like early February, and I took it. I waited like 2 days. I took it. Told my dad right away. Didn't tell my mom right away because her and I were not like doing super well at the time. Yeah. And I thought she was going to be like super pissed about it, but I eventually told her. She was cool about it. I moved out, packed up everything. I actually had help I had help from a deputy chief from Byron. Actually, we moved all my stuff out. All my bigger stuff like furniture out to Wyoming in April, I think. Moved out there. He helped me. We drove all the way there. dropped my stuff off, and then like had a fun like little road trip back. And then so moved out May 8th, I think. Took 2 days to drive there, and then I was in Wyoming fighting wildfires from May until I got laid off at the end of October. And I had a great time there. I'll dive more into that for sure, but had a great time there. I was busy the whole time, so I really couldn't like stress about too much shit.
Yeah.
And you and I kind of were talking back and forth
that's
while
when
I was there. That's kind of how we reconnected. And
like you'd comment on my story, I'd comment on yours, and like we kind of started Snapchatting more. And
then I had brought up, I think at some point, that I'm interested in like moving here after, because I was supposed to move here to Arizona before I went to Wyoming, but I got that offer, so I had to dip. And then I had gotten into contact with Shane Spielman and you a little bit that I wasn't going to stay in Wyoming for the winter. So that's when I took off a week earlier than I was supposed to be done. I was getting laid off the last week of October. And so I took off a week early, drove, packed my car up, drove straight down here, took 2 days to do it.
Gross.
My 24th birthday, I was in a hotel by myself.
That is the biggest vibe of all time.
Cortez, Colorado. So
you got hammered.
And didn't even have a drink of booze. Not one. So shout out to 24th B-Day. It was wild.
Go beer.
And so I got here, and you and I hung out like almost instantly.
Yeah, and I remember vividly like you texting me saying you're on your way. I sent you my location.
Yeah,
and like in my head, I didn't even tell you this, but I was like, this is so weird,
dude. Weird.
Because if you told me like in 2014 that we'd eventually both reconnect out here,
great friends, and be doing what we're doing right now in Arizona.
Like in my head, when you were like, you said you're here, I walked out. I was like, holy shit, Drake Augenbaugh, my next door neighbor for life, dude, is coming to my apartment.
That's what when I was driving, I was like, this is so surreal.
It's so weird,
and it's hilarious. Like sitting right here, like in your kitchen, doing this right now. It's how
March 8th, 2020.
2020, dude. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
but it is hilarious to us. We hung out right away, and I knew from there it was like we clicked so strangely well right off the bat, because you're so weird and I'm so weird as well. Like we have a very weird style of humor, and very cringe style
personality. It's very cringe, so much cringe.
Like he's a lot less embarrassed, like to do things like in public and around people. I've gotten better at it, but like we go out and we literally don't care.
Yeah,
like we tear up the dance floor at any place we go to, and we act like complete fucking
But idiots. I think like moving to Phoenix has really changed my viewpoint on that. Because when you're in a small town, everyone knows each other. Like there's so much gossip and talking, like blah blah blah. But then when you move to a big city, you go grocery shopping, you don't run into anyone. You never run into like your coworkers, or just it's the 5th biggest city in the U.S. So like you're not gonna see anyone ever again.
Nope.
So that's why, like, my mindset's like
we're like, you know how rare it's going to be if we see these people out.
Like, even if
we go back out the next night, like bumping into those same people, if they go back, is so rare.
Even just like being in public during the day, like I could care less what anyone thinks. Yeah, like I'm gonna have fun and be weird. And be myself.
So life is too short, to be honest with you. And
get some inspiration in Kingsway Lames. Life is too short.
Life is too short, people. So turn up. And hit the dance floor.
But I think moving to Phoenix has definitely like made me view that way.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And that was a big thing for me, like in Wyoming, is I moved out to the complete opposite of what I was. Like that's literally the cowboy state.
Yeah, I forgot Wyoming existed.
I am not a cowboy. Complete opposite. Didn't even like country music until like summer of 2016. Didn't even fuck with country music. So, and it was because all my friends like it a lot. So it was either learn to enjoy this or literally hate your life every time you hang out with your friends. So I was like, you know what? Because I would give them so much shit. Like, I'm not listening to this dog shit. And then eventually I was like, okay, this song's actually kind of fucking...
Shoulders. The Uzi shoulders there.
That's how we do it around here. And that's how we do it around here. And I was like, you know what? That lyric's fucking sick. This song rocks. And so I had to... It was so intimidating, like way less intimidating coming out here to Phoenix, because like I'm not a hipster, like trendy dude, but like I follow trends. I like fashion. I like to like constantly change things.
Yeah.
Like I look like I'm a city boy for sure.
Yeah.
And so
I don't think you brought any Wyoming with you.
No,
like for
and
fashion wise.
And so there's so many ranchers there. There's so many like, not even, and if they're not ranchers, they're like wilderness like camo bros that like to hunt. I don't diss on hunting. I don't do it. I never have. And then I only wear camo if I get it for free, or if it's like style wise kind of cool. Like I have a pair of camo pants. Whoops.
But you know, it's so weird. If you grew up in Casper, Wyoming, and you moved here and we became friends, like how we would be completely different.
1,000% different. 1,000%. And two of my best friends that I still talk to today, I talk to most of the guys I worked with in Wyoming because they're awesome. Shout out to those guys if they ever listen to this too. But two of my best friends now, Thane and Shad. Those are two real people's names. Thane and Shad are two.
How do you Shad?
Shad, not it's like it's like shed, but it's not. It's with an A, not an E. Shad. So those two.
To be in Wyoming.
To be a boy named Shad. And those two are ranch kids that grew up. We grew up in a nice suburb. Like didn't have to do any of that work ever. You know what I mean? They both grew up as ranch kids, like hard nosed, like. And right away I was like, these two guys are gonna be the biggest fucking dicks ever. Yeah. I was like, I'm never gonna.
First impression.
Right away, first day, like first week, like maybe the first couple days, I was like, I'm never gonna get along with these two guys. And we've talked about it, and they've also said similar things. They're like, who's this fucking loser? Yeah. Like I'm never gonna be cool with this guy.
It's crazy how like judgment is with the first
impression. It's nuts. Yeah. And now it's like. I still talk to Thane and Shad almost every day, and my plan is to go back there to hang out with. Shad's actually up in Montana now. He's like ahead on a large part of property on a huge ranch in Montana now, and so
crazy how different their lifestyles are.
So like that's what I'm saying. And yeah, if you ever have the chance to go to Casper, Wyoming, or anywhere in Wyoming in general, because I know Yellowstone's there, I just never had a chance to go because I was so busy with work. But it's gorgeous there. It's so gorgeous, and it's definitely a place you should check out for sure. But yeah, shout out to the guys in Wyoming because it was. I had to get so comfortable with being uncomfortable because I was in the polar opposite of what I was.
By yourself.
By myself. Yeah. No current friends, like already there. And
were you homesick in Casper? Like, did you regret ever going there?
There was a point, and more so, it was bad the first week, and it was because things didn't work out. I didn't get cleared right away for medical stuff because of my asthma. So, like, I wasn't able to.
Shout out asthma.
Shout out asthma. Sucks.
Yeah, it does.
And so the first week was so hard because I had these classes that I had like 2 full months to do before I got there. Didn't do them, thinking they were going to be such an easy breeze right through. It was so complicated because the program they were running on, they didn't just work on regular Safari on my Mac. I had to like download Chrome, and then I had to go like into Firefox for a different one instead of just using Safari.
That's gross.
So gross, so complicated. Almost got like let go the first week because I didn't have those done, and I was gonna be. I don't know.
So the online courses?
Yeah, it was stuff it was like a bunch of classes. I had to pull like almost an all-nighter one night just to finish them all, or else if I didn't have them done by the time I came in that next day, I was gonna get let go. And
that's
it
crazy.
Was so frustrating because it wouldn't have taken those couple days that it took if I would have figured out right away that the program it needed to be running like Chrome and Firefox. So that was so annoying. And then I finally got cleared for medical stuff with my asthma, and I could finally do PT because we work out every morning together. And so the guys were doing workouts, and I was sitting and watching them. So not only am I the outsider.
How long did it take you to connect with like some of them? Like were you
within the
first
couple days? I was the opposite of what I am too. I'm normally like not really the center of attention, but like a guy who's pretty like well known in the room. Like social guy, like definitely cracking jokes all the time, like trying to keep like the mood light. I've never been so reserved and quiet and to myself for a week straight than I was that first week.
Yeah, no, that's tough.
And they were even giving me shit for that first week. Like everyone would be talking, and then a few of them would go, like, Drake, shut up. Like, why are you talking so much? Like, that was, like, the joke because I literally didn't say a word, like, my first week. And so I wasn't able to prove myself like in the physical aspect because I wasn't able to work out with them. So I knew I was being judged on that too. They were like, "Who the fuck is this new guy? Why is he not working out with us? And why does he not speak?" And so it was the opposite of me. It was literally the opposite of me. And so once the first thing that we were able to do that like made me break free was the first like weekend, like because we started off 4-10s Monday through Thursday, and then had Friday, Saturday, Sundays off. And once like May is over, then you go into 7-day staffing in June, and so you're there, and then everyone has like every shift has different days off. So one of like the first times that we played a like soccer within like the first like 2 or 3 weeks, it was still like pretty chilly. I dominated soccer. And so like that, and it was seasonals against like perms.
Is that like your icebreaker with
that? That was the icebreaker because I was like, yo, this kid's kind of fucking sick with a soccer ball, dude.
Dude,
I was like, the guy that didn't work out with us for the first week and a half, he's kind of fucking raw at sports.
He's got a decent
kick. So that was like a way that I finally was like, oh my God, like people are like, yo, I want to be on Drake's team, like that kind of thing. So I finally was able to get more comfortable because I was like, okay, these guys, now they know that I'm not a complete piece of shit because I haven't been able to work out with them. So that was super huge. And then from that, I connect with people easily right away, kind of like what you do too. And so from that, I was able just to kind of settle in and prove myself over that next couple days. And then that first 2 weeks was over. I was finally able to just be open and be myself. Yeah. I didn't want to come in and be super happy, goofy without being able to prove myself first. Yeah.
So, I think with anyone when you meet, there's always like a hump you have to get over to actually be comfortable with that person. Also, we're doing 46 minutes.
Yeah, dude, we're on 46. We're doing pretty fucking good.
So we're 6 minutes over.
6 minutes over. So what do you want to do? Do you want to close it out with anything?
I think we should.
That's fine.
I think we went over pretty much the basic intro.
It was a good breakdown for intro stuff for sure.
We can kind of get more into it next episode too.
Sorry that I blabber on and on, but I
think we needed the intros to be done.
Mm-hmm. So
and then now we can actually have
now we get that done and out of the way.
Our bits.
But no, so we created a separate YouTube channel, Kingsway Lames. We have a Twitter page, Kingsway Lames.
You got 2 followers.
Is it us?
Yeah.
Sick. It's us too.
So sick.
So if you start listening to it and just recommend us obviously to your friends. We're definitely going to shout out a lot of different YouTube channels and podcasts that we gravitate to just to kind of help everybody out because, like I said, we're not trying to make it big. We're just doing this in our free time
for a good time.
For a good time. Not for a long time.
That's true. You got that.
So
we got one
something
season
that we want to be consistent with, and so Kingsway Lames on socials, and we definitely just kind of want to. We're super cringe and funny, and we would like to build a small community of people that are also super cringe and funny. So, other than that.
And next episode, we're going to have the 2 separate mics.
Yeah, we should have 2 mics next episode. It's not going to sound this weird.
Yeah.
And if I kind of went silent or it was hard to hear me a few times, it's probably because I was covering my mouth.
I actually needed this side this whole time, so it's just been me.
So it was actually recorded on the other side. Through
so it's just me. What's up, guys?
But no, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
We appreciate it and recommend it to all your stupid friends because.
And if you got a grandma in a bridge club,
if you got grandmas, tell grandmas about it. So hopefully they don't mind swearing too much.
And is she single?
Yeah, is she dating currently? What's going on there? But
what's up?
No, thank you guys. We appreciate it. And what are we going to try to do a weekly thing probably? Once we're gonna get into a better rhythm. Obviously, this is our first time.
I think it can be a weekly.
So we're gonna try to release every week and go from there and just be consistent. So, you guys watching, if you have ever listened to this first episode, this is
and I think it's cool too, just to look back. Let's say we're 20 episodes deep, to go back to the first episode and see our setup.
Yeah, see how cringe.
And how uncomfortable we are and learning this whole system.
No, for sure.
But thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate it and we love you. And
next episode's not going to be so boring.
No, we promise. So bear with us, even if anyone listens to this first episode.
Yeah,
so
which is
shout out you guys.
If you're listening, I love you.
And then you just hit that to end it.
Yeah.